Hi, everybody, and welcome to NPT community classes. I'm Renae, and for the next 2 weeks, we're going to be working on spring tension. So today's focus is increasing the spring tension. So we already have a baseline of the repertoire that we know for the springs, but we're going to start to increase that. So we're going to start to increase the load and increase the strength through our muscles and the power through our muscles. So for the 2 weeks, we'll be doing the same exercises, but as I said, this week's working heavier springs, and then the following week is going to be lighter springs. So it's just to show you the different dynamics, and the change of the springs can change the focus of the exercise. All right, so we also need to be aware of when do we actually increase the tension for a particular client. So they do need to be posturally aware and have adequate control and strength through an exercise. All right, so today, as I said, we're going to be working heavier springs. So let's start. But always remember, if something doesn't feel right, please adjust the springs and work to your level. So we are working on increasing muscle strength. So I've got my foot bar quite high. So depending on the reformer that you've got, so I have 3 red springs, a green spring which is about 1.25, and then I have a half spring, which is a blue spring on my balance body. And then I've also got little eyelets, so that can also increase your spring tension as well. Okay, so just be mindful that if you don't want to jump a full spring up, change the spring onto another eyelet or the button. Okay, so I've got 3.5 springs on for my leg and footwork, but I have taken them up onto the little buttons as well. So as I said, that increases your tension. So we're going to start seated today. So just grounding through your feet, reaching long through the crown of the head, and just finding your sit bones. So finding that you're nice and upright on your sit bones. You can close your eyes down. We're going to start with a bit of breathing, or you can keep them open. Whatever helps you just become aware of where you are in space. So big inhale, expanding through the chest, through the back, opening up, getting all that nice diaphragmatic breathing. And then exhale, keep the body nice and tall as you just let everything come back in. Inhale again. Are you even between both of your sit bones? And have you got even placement through your feet? So grounding into the earth through the feet. This is to bring awareness to where we are in space. As I said, finding those little tension spots as we start seated. And breathing that into that area to release the tension. Big inhale. Can you feel the ribs expand? Can you feel the lungs expanding, the diaphragm ascending? And then exhale. Can you keep that expansion even though we're letting all the air out? 2 more rounds. Inhale. And then exhale. One more time. In. Filling up, bringing all that good air in to rejuvenate the body. And then exhale, letting all that stale air out. Good. All right. From here, we're going to just do a seated roll down for me. So hands can be down by your side, keeping the lovely length through the spine to start. We're going to inhale. And then as you exhale, peeling yourself away from an imaginary wall that's behind you, curling down, not resting on the legs, still keeping that powerhouse active. And then slowly curling up, finding that imaginary wall behind you, stacking the spine to reach that crown of the head to the roof. Inhale again, and then exhale. So even though we're going down, you find the length through the spine. Good, we're not collapsing on the legs. Inhale, and then exhale. Initiate from your strong center as you roll yourself up, reaching through the crown of the head. Just one more time. In, and then out, unwinding the spine, finding out any kinks, trying not to hang down there, be active, and then slowly curl yourself up from there. Good, up nice and tall. Beautiful. We're going to stay seated. We're going to do your spine twist seated. So arms can be out to the side to start. Feel the fingertips reaching from corner or wall to wall. Keep that crown of the head. We're going to rotate to the left. So we're going to pull your left rib back and right rib forward and then come back to center. So let's just make a smooth transition first. Can you reach your left rib forward? Can you reach your right rib back, but keeping that same tension through those arms? Spiraling around to the side. Can you reach the crown of the head to the roof? Can you keep the spine nice and tall as you recoil back? And come back. And twist, pulling the right ribs back, left ribs forward, and back to center. So I've just left the pulse out so that we can find the reach, find the length, unwind the spine. Good. And one more time, reach. Good. Are your arms still even? We don't want one arm forward, one arm back. We still want to maintain as you come back to center this lovely T position. Beautiful. Arms come down. Let's come and lay down on your back. So we're going to do your pelvic curls to start. So arms are by your side. We've already done our breathing, so just make sure you're now just printing your body into your mat. Breathe in to prepare, and then you're going to breathe out as you start to curl, keeping the carriage still, lifting the pelvis, energizing out through those knees. Inhale, and then exhale, melt yourself down. So there's enough spring tension on there that we shouldn't be moving the carriage. Just focusing on reaching long through the knees, long through the spine. And just watch, making sure that you're not squashing the back of the neck. Can you leave like a little air pocket underneath the back of your neck? All the way down. 2 more times. Inhale, and then exhale. Reach long through the knees, reach long through the crown of the head. Focusing on the backs of the legs, opening up the front of the hips. One more time, in and then out. Can you press your heels evenly into your bar? Can you press your arms evenly into your reformer bed? Can you keep that tension as you slowly curl down? Finding the length through the spine. Beautiful. All right, from here, keep your legs where they are. We're going into your chest lift. We're going to breathe in to prepare. We're going to exhale and reach your hands towards your foot bar. And then slowly come back down from there. So we're going to start the curl. Let the sternum sink in towards the carriage. Can you reach? And then slowly come down. We're going to now hover the feet off the floor for me, or off your foot bar. Exhale as we lift. Good, reach. Can you let the head of the femurs just sink into the sockets and then slowly come down. 2 more times. Inhale, exhale, curl. Don't lead with the neck. Try and think of leading with the sternum as you come up. Beautiful. Lay down one more time. Coming up. Reach. Hold. And then coming down from there. Let's add on with your hula. So curling up for me. Holding here. We're going to take one hand on top of the other. Keep your legs where they are. We're going to rotate to the right. Can you reach a little further, but keep your opposite hip down? So that left hip down. Back to center from here. Reach to the left. Can you anchor that right hip down? Back to center. And we twist. Good. So like what we did with our seated spine twist, we're now continuing the spinal rotation, keeping that pelvis nice and steady. So can you reach, as we go to the left, can you reach your right rib forward, left rib back into the reformer bed? Other way, left rib forward, right rib back. And across. And we'll reach. And across. One more each side. Head should be just sitting in between the shoulders. Last time. Back to center, and then lower yourself back down from there. Beautiful. All right, let's head into our leg and foot work. So we're going to start on your heels. All right, so before we even begin, can you get a little co-contraction with the legs? So that means that can we get our hamstrings, can we get our quads activated before we even push out? So that's going to help as we push out, that we're actually then working the legs and not through your back, all right? Especially because we've increased the load. So are we activated? Hamstrings, quads, strong through the legs. When we've got that contraction, you're going to exhale and press the legs out. And then recoil back in. Resist the springs. So you really want to imagine that you are a spring, that your muscles are stretching out as long as your spring, but can you even go a little bit further? Now to recoil it back in, you don't want the spring to quickly recoil. You want to slowly bring it back in, activating through those muscles. Keep that tension. Can you hold that tension the whole way through? So let's go out 1, 2, 3, and slowly in. 2, 3, and press. Have you still got that tension through the legs, front and back? Okay, it is very easy just to hop on the reformer and let the springs do all the work. Work against the springs. Work that you become the spring yourself. Just 2 more. Exhale. Good. Resist it down. This is where we get stronger, and press it out. 2, 3, and then slowly down. Beautiful. From here, come onto your toes. Are all 10 toes and metatarsal heads pressing into your foot bar? Are you maintaining a little heel lift? Now, if you are, contract both legs, the front and back, as you press out. And then resist it to come back down from there. And again, press, 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 press. Just getting there. It's like you want the spring to unwind even more. Press. And then resist it to come in. The resistance and control is where we build this muscle strength. Good. Loading up the legs. If you're finding this a little easy, maybe you could even increase your spring tension a little bit more. Or maybe just check in. Have I actually got, and do I understand the co-contraction of the legs, front and back? And press out. and then come back in. One more time, press. So if you're maintaining just a little heel lift here, and we should be working that whole leg. There's little strong, like rods of steel. Good. From here, bring your heels together. We're going to maintain your little V. Really glue those heels together that you'll start to now even feel the muscles working a little bit more. Out we go. 2, 3, and come back in. Good. So as we increase the load, we do want to check, are they overworking through their neck and shoulders? Or are they working through their legs? Okay, this is the leg exercise. It's not a neck and shoulder. So we do want to maintain that adequate stability through the shoulders and through the pelvic area. Resist it back down, press it out, and resist it in. Are your heels still squeezing together? Are all 10 toes really pressing in towards your foot bar? One more. And resist it in. Well, I hope you're all feeling your legs, because I certainly am. So come out wide. You're on your heels this time. So before we go out, can you drive those heels into the bar and even in towards each other? Get those hamstrings, adductors, quads all firing. Drive through the heels as you push out. No clenching of the jaw or the neck and shoulders. Just getting those legs to fire. 3, 2, 1. Can you keep the spring long and resist it in? Stretch, 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 and then keep it out there as you slowly come back down. So the more push, or the more pull that we've, got onto the spring, the more we've actually got to work our muscles, the more strength work that we can get. Press and then recoil it in nice and slow. One more time. And then slowly back in. Beautiful. Come on to your toes. Same position as your V. We're just a little bit wider. So heels stay lifted. Can you get all your toes actively pressing into your foot bar? Can you keep your heels lifted as you push out? Can you find that little tremor of truth through those legs? I just have. Good. So we're just making you step out of that comfort zone. This is how we improve and get good muscle power, muscle load, increase our strength. Resist it back down. Out we go. 1, 2, 3. Are you still pressing all 10 toes down? 2 more times. One more time. And resist it back in. Beautiful. Come back onto your toes in parallel. Here's our calf risers. So pressing all 10 toes again. Get your co-contraction with the legs. Hold that nice and still. Also want you to check, are you pressing your lower back into the ground? All right, if you are, you need to ease off on that and let your sacrum sit in towards the reformer bed. Once you've got that, once you've got the legs contracting, push it out for me. Now hold it here. Keep that pelvic stability. Lower those heels down and then lift your heels up. Lower the heels down and lift it up. So we do want to check if we are increasing the load. Are they starting to tuck their pelvis? You still want to maintain that neutral pelvis there, okay? So all the principles and all the concepts of Pilates still remain the same, even if you start to increase your load. Good, slowly up. Let's do 4 more. Down, 2, 3. And have you got all 10 toes pressing down? Down, 2, 3, and up. Good, let's go down and up. 2 more times. Down, 2, 3, but you're still active, and slowly up. And press it down. Nice active lengthening, and then we recoil. Come back up. Good. Stay here and let's go straight into your prances. All right. Are your feet still quite active? Are they pressing into the foot bar to actually let your ankles and knees get nice and mobile? Is your sacrum still pressing evenly in towards the mat? And is your lower back still nice and free? Good. 2 more times. Press and use those feet. Press and use those feet. Last time. Good. Bend your knees and come down. Ooh, give those legs a good shake. Beautiful. All right, let's sit up and we'll go into your single legs. So we're just going to lower it slightly down. Okay, so I've taken off my half spring, so I'm still on 3 red springs. All right, let's lay yourself back down. All right, come onto we're just going to do your heels today. And I want you to try and keep so let's go onto your right heel. Extend your left leg out, and you're going to hold that leg there. So we're going to be working little isometric contraction with that leg. All right, press your right heel in. Is your right leg already active? Then press out from there. All right, and then slowly come down. Is your sacrum nicely pressed into the mat? Are you still maintaining that little neutral through the pelvis? Good. So keep that left leg active as well as the right. So it does challenge it a lot more, being on a bit more of a heavier spring. And come on down. 2 more. Press it out. And come back in. Are we still active through the leg? And resist it to come back in. Beautiful. Let's swap. Left heel presses into the bar. Right leg extends out. Keep your right leg quite active. Press your left heel in. Have you got that co-contraction already? Then drive through the heel as you push out. Can you extend a little bit more, feeling that length? And then come back down. So it's not a lock. It's just like you can just keep extending because you want the spring to uncoil itself even a bit more. And then come back down. And press it out. Ooh, little quivers, and then come on down. Check in with your neck and shoulders. Check in with your jaw, that we're not clenching everything. Keep checking in that you're printing your body in towards the bed. Good. 2 more. Drive through the heel. Have you still got muscle contraction through the legs as you come down and as you go out? Coming down is just as important because you're in control then. 1 more for luck. I think I did an extra one. And come on down. Beautiful. Good. Hug your legs in towards you. Hopefully your legs feel a little bit more alive. All right. Seating yourself up. We're going to go into hands in the straps. So usually it's about 1 to 1.5. If you usually do 1, let's go 1.5. If you're on 1.5, let's go 2 springs. Okay. So this is working out good arm strength. Great for women. good for bone density. So let's lay yourself back down. Let's grab your straps and holding onto your handles for me. All right. So keep your feet onto the bar to start with. Just take your arms that they are directly up to the roof. Okay, so we've already got activation through the arms. So press your arms into the straps and you feel the arms working. All right, now without moving the carriage, I want you to slowly lift your legs off. We're going to hold. You should feel those muscles working, especially if we're on 2 springs. All right. From here, we're going into your hundreds prep. So the arms are going to up forward, legs extend to reach for your hundreds position. Now resist it to come back in. Press just to where we started. Feel the triceps and the back muscles working. So your arms should work from your back. Press again. Exhale, lifting up. If you feel you're right on the shoulder blocks, move yourself away a little bit, which I might do. So holding that nice and tight. Exhale, press. Find that lovely scoop. Keep the legs really long. Now resist the springs to come back in. And again, press and reach. Hold. And now resist it to come back in. 2 more times. Strong arms. Press. Reach. And then resist it in. Resist it. You should feel your centers a lot more. Here's our lovely control and breath work. And then come back in from there. Beautiful. Lower your feet and let the carriage come down. Beautiful. All right. Now we're going to place your feet into the straps. So we're going to keep on the same spring. So we're going to keep 2 springs. All right. So placing your feet into there. All right. So start with the legs resting in towards you first. All right. That's quite comfy. I want you to press out a little bit, that your sacrum comes down into the reformer bed. Can you actively press without moving the carriage? Actively press your legs into the straps. Can you squeeze your heels in towards each other a little bit more? So you can see mine just starting to quiver because they're really working quite hard. All right, so they're already working. Now, to push out from here, work from a strong center. Keep those legs active as we stretch the legs even more. Now, resist it to come back in. So we're recoiling back in, but we're going to where that we're active, we're not relaxing. All right, so I don't mind if they can come in further, but they never stop activating. Press. And then in. So this is building up our strength and flexibility. That's the beauty of Pilates. So we're getting an active stretch and strength, and then resist it to come in. Press, 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 press all the way out. Now keep those heels quite tight in towards each other. And are your heels still in the midline of your body? So just check that, because one leg might be working a little bit harder than the other. Good. Press it out. And come back in just one more time. Be active the whole time. Good. And bring it in. Let's head into our circle. So actively press those legs. Keep them there. We're going to take the legs up towards the roof. Keep them pressing against your straps as you come around. You float the legs up, but you're actively floating. You're not just letting your springs do the work. Come around. Floats up, but you keep pressing. Get those hamstrings open and then squeeze it around. Lift it up and open. Use those muscles to take you around. Check, is your pelvis still nice and square? Aiming not to let the pelvis rock and roll around. If this isn't a challenge for you, well, then maybe you could increase it a little bit, or you could make your circle smaller if it is a bit of a challenge also on the springs. All right, so we can always alternate it around to give yourself that extra little challenge. Let's reverse. Let's go down together. Open the legs. Keep the control as it comes around. Squeeze it down. Use the back of the legs all the way around. Are your feet actively pressing into your straps? Press. Check in with your neck and shoulders. Two more times. Down and around. Good. Last time. Press, press, press. And around we go. Good. Keep the legs straight up to the roof. Find your neutral. We're going to open the legs out to the sides. So you do want to actively press the legs, but I don't want the carriage moving. So it means that we really have to focus that we're just letting the head of the femurs glide in your acetabulum, in your pelvis. Opening and closing. And one more. Good. From here, we're going to do your low closes. Oh, squeeze and come down. And then we open because it's a little heavier. Are you connected in through a strong center? Are you using your breath, exhale, to help you move? Or your principles still need to come into play even though we've increased the tension? Just one more. Use your breath. Beautiful. And then reach the legs up to the roof. Bend your knees in towards you. Take your feet out of there nice and safely. And then hook your straps back onto your little cleats. All right. So from here, we're going into your pelvic curl with extensions. So we're usually on 2.5 springs anyway. If you're on 3 springs, let's keep it here. All right. So feet this time are going to be in a little V. The arms are by your side. I want you to connect the heels in towards each other and all your toes going over the foot bar. Keep that connection. Let's go up into your pelvic curl, keeping the carriage still, energy out through the legs. From here, we're going to push the carriage out. Oh, come back in. Silly me. Come back down. Let's change your springs. I was on 2 springs, so come back up. Let's go on to, as I said, we're usually on 2.5 springs for pelvic curls with extension, but we're going to be on 3 springs. Okay. Take 2. Let's come back down again. All right, so arms by your side. Keep the connection with the heels. Are all 10 toes pressing into the bar. All right, let's go up into your curl. But can your knees really reach over your toes? All right, so from here, keep the connection with your legs because you're going to push out. So it is a little heavier. And you're going to come back in, keeping your tushy up high. And then slowly come down from there. So having the spring a little bit heavier can actually help and assist you with some exercises. So here, being on 3 springs, you're probably not going to move that carriage out, which is good, which is our aim. But as we push out, you're going to have to work a little harder through those legs to push out. So it's not the upper body doing the work. Bend and come in, and then roll it down. You probably don't have to work as hard, all right, on your rolls. And then curl it up, lifting through the tush. So we're opening right out through the front of the pelvis. Now we have to work a little harder to push out. You have to use those legs and then come back in. And then we roll it back down. And last time, curl it up, press and lift. So drive out through those knees, push it out from there. Come back in. And then roll it back down. Good. So being in a little turnout in your little V position, that challenges, again, the hamstrings in a different way. Good. All right. So now let's stand up. We're going to go into your scooter. So usually that's one spring. We're going to try and do 1.5. If you're usually on 1.5, why don't you try 2? Or take it up onto one of the little buttons if you have the buttons on your reformer. So I'm on 1.5. So let's set yourself up that your foot is back in line with your knee. So you're really lifting through your center. So if I'm standing on my right leg, left leg is onto the reformer bed. All right, left hand is going to go onto the foot bar. Your right hand is behind your back. So can you keep that nice C curve and press up into your hand? All right, so from here, strong through the arm, we're going to push the carriage back. We're trying to keep that the pelvis stays nice and square with your hand behind your back. So we're working your supporting leg just as much as we're working your left leg on the reformer. So strong arms. So whatever's touching something, press down into it. Are you activating your left arm muscles? Are you activating your right leg and left leg? Good. 4, resist it in. 3, slow. And 2, and 1. Beautiful. And then come up from there. Nice. Other side. So let's come and stand. You're standing on your left leg, right foot against your shoulder block. Right hand onto the foot bar. Can you actively press your lower back up into your left hand? Press through, activate through those muscles. So get the contraction through the muscles first, then the muscles are what presses the leg out. Good. Nice and smooth. So I don't want to just let the spring do the work. Push it out. Try and feel that coil of the spring stay out as long as you can. That's where all the tension is. That's where we're going to build that strength when the spring is on stretch. Formal. 4. Good. 3. Are your legs working? Are your arms actively pressing into whatever they're touching? 2. And 1. Feeling that. Glutes, hamstrings, quads, it's all working. All right, we're going into your up stretch. So we're going to go on to 2 springs for your up stretch 2. All right, so let's come and stand on your bed. You're on your half toes for me. Okay, so are your feet, your toes actively pressing into the bed? Are your arms actively pressing into the bed or to the foot bar? Nice and long through the spine. Can you get the co-contraction already through the legs, through your arms? Can you press your legs back and come out into your up stretch or long stretch? and then scoop through the belly and come back up. Press, use the legs straight out into our nice plank position. Then lift the pelvis, hinging at the hips. Press. So here's quite hard. You've got to use those arms, but you've got to use your legs as well. And then we hinge from the hip socket, the shoulder socket. Moving at the joints, strong through the body. And then come back up. And press it out. Can you push the legs out a bit more? Can you press your arms a little bit more? Are you active from head to toe? Then resist it to come back in. One more, press it out. Quite a challenge to hold it out there, especially with 2 springs on. And then bring it back in from there. Very nice. Okay, stepping off there. So we're going to go into your seated arm work. So again, usually we're on 1 spring. So let's try 1.5. So change it up for yourself. Good. And let's come and sit down. Okay. So if you do have a green spring, because that's about a 1.25, you could even go to the 1.25. All right. Or again, you use those little eyelets just to increase the tension of your springs. All right. So body up nice and tall. Let's find our center, aiming not to lean too far back or too far forward. Find yourself right on top of your sit bones. Are your arms quite active through the straps? Can you feel those already activating? All right, let's pull back. Arms, hold, and then release. Good. If you have straps like me with handles and the foot straps, if you find it too much having the handles, go into this, the long straps. Still with the same springs, but that's just going to ease you into that tension of the springs. Hold and release. Let's do 3 more. Can you grow taller? Can you feel your arms pressing into your handles? And again, press, hold. Are you broad across your chest? Are you broad across your back? And then slowly, can you bring it in? Are you getting a little quiver? That's good, because we're just pushing the muscle out of its little comfort zone. 1 more, press and hold, and slowly bring it forward from there. Beautiful. Bicep curls, so arms up and just hinging at your elbows. So are you able to keep your elbows high? Just hinging at the elbow joint. Can you keep your chest slightly going forward? Don't lean back with it. Can you press the hands towards your shoulders and your chest towards the wall in front of you? Good. If you find this too much in your lower back, bend your knees a little bit. And work towards getting them nice and straight. Good, 1 more. Whoa. Who's feeling those arms? Me. All right, into our rhomboids. Let your arms come into the handles. Same thing here. Try not to be too far forward or too back. Find yourself right on your sit bones. Are you even in your sit bones? Palms facing towards you. Open, open, open without moving the spine. And then let the arms come forward. So feel the head of the humerus just opening in the socket. And open. Oh, this is a challenge. And come in. Can you remain nice and tall and hold? Resisting it back in. Very nice. 1 more. And then come back in from there. Beautiful. All right. Just put your straps down. We're going to turn around and face the other way. Good, holding on. So because we are the other way, this is going to increase the tension just that little bit more. So I have gone to my longer straps. So we're going to go into your hug. So we're going to scoop the arms up, then open them out to the sides, and we're going to close and open, close and open and close and open. Can you keep reaching your sternum forward to the wall in front of you? Can you keep reaching your fingertips out to the sides? Good. One more time. Good. Then bring it forward. Reach the arms up. So we're on a bit of a diagonal. Let's do your salute. Bend and stretch it out. Bend. So you are on a slight diagonal. Is your strong center still working? Press it out. 2 more. Good. 1 more. Good. And then open the arms and bring it down. So that's a challenge that way. So you can see how the different ways that we're facing on the reformer with the spring tension is going to cause those muscles to work a lot harder. So if 1.5 is too much facing the front of the reformer, take it down, or like what I did, just use your longer straps. All right. So from here, let's come and stand up. We're going to go into your skating prep. So let's take your foot bar down. So usually here, it's 1 to 1.5. Let's go with your 1.5 for me. So we're going to come and stand. All right. So up nice and tall, we're going to bend both knees. Can you do your co-contraction here? So without even moving, can you actually activate all the muscles within your legs? Place your hands behind your head and press your head into your hands. Good. From here, can you push one leg out? The 1.5 springs is pretty challenging. So you mightn't get it all the way out. Let's go to where you can, that you're driving through the heel, and then come back in. And then drive through the heel. And then press. And then come back in. And then we press. Good, and come back in. And 1 more. Press. And then come back in from there. Good, standing up tall. So 1.5 is pretty tough, okay? So if it doesn't get all the way out, that's just your aim. That's what we're going to work on to try and build that strength through those glutes. So come and stand. Let's bend both knees again. Find your center. Activate those legs and then place your hands behind your head. Push your head back into your hands and your hands into your head so that we've got those arms nice and strong. All right, press out from here. Good. Can you remain long through the torso as you extend your leg out? And also, can you notice a difference in both sides? Press, 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 and hold and resist it in. Press, 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 and resist that in. 2 more times, press it out. And come back in. 1 more time. And press it in. Oh, good, standing up. And then gently hopping off there. Good, let's go into your lateral flexion work. So we're going into your side reach. So let's come and bring the bar all the way up. So usually we're on 1 spring. Let's give it a go on 1.5. So come and sit down in your Z sit, if that feels comfortable for you. All right, so from here, we're going to have to be activating the arm that's on that foot bar. So as you push out, find the strength right through from your heel of your hand all the way across your chest and out through the fingers. So hold that T position. Then stretch your arm over your head. Bring it back. And then can you lengthen? Can you resist and use this arm? Press out again. Now I'm wanting you to try and keep your arm nice and straight, your arm that's on the foot bar. So when you're coming up, you're just working right at that shoulder socket. So the carriage mightn't come in, which is okay. And then reach it long. Can you try and get your top arm beside your ear? Can you get that hip down into the bed? Reach and then come back up. And reach it out. And then over. Can you push your hand that's on the foot bar? Can you push it a little bit further away, but without letting your ribs pop? Find that lovely length. Bring it up and bring it back in. Good. Then bend your elbow to come in. Good. All right, let's do the other side. So from here, you're just going to stretch the arm out first. So I already want you to have a bit of tension outside. All right, so from here, we're going to go out into your T. Hold that there. Press your hand into the foot bar. Then bring the arm beside your ear. Bring the arm back and then lift yourself up, but keep the arm nice and straight. So it's okay that the carriage is not going all the way in. Here we're working on the strength of the arm, the triceps, the lats, all down through those nice postural muscles. Come back and then up from there. Out to a T. Reach it over. Stretch. Are you still in a good alignment? Are you still long through the front, long through the back? Lift and back. One more time. Find your T. Is the energy from fingertip out to fingertip. Reach it over. Come back and then lift up. Beautiful. Then bend your elbow to come back in. Good. So that's a nice one all the way down through the side and through those arms as well. All right, kneeling lunge. We're going to keep it on 2.5 springs for me. 1.5 springs for me. So coming onto, let's go onto your left knee. Right toes are up onto the foot bar. Body up nice and tall. Okay, so we don't want to collapse. We want to lift up as much as you can. Holding it up. And now as we push out, you've got to use both feet. So pushing your right foot into the foot bar, left foot back into the shoulder block. And then from here, we're going to bend and come back in. Just do one more on this 1.5 spring for me. And press, really push both legs, a bit like our scooter. You're wanting your hands to be active, your legs to be active as you're stretching out. And then come back in. Beautiful. Take that right foot off. I want you to actually place 2 red springs on. So that's your 2 springs. Okay, so we've taken off the half. Stay on the same leg. So lift your right foot back up, body up nice and tall. So we've increased the tension. So that means you're going to have to use a bit more force to push it out. So we're loading up those muscles. Press through the legs as you push out. That's better. All right, so we mightn't go out as far, which is fine, but can you actively press your feet into whatever they're touching? And now can you resist, start to bend your right knee, resist with the left leg as you come back in and up nice and tall. Inhale and then exhale, press, actively push those legs, front and back. Don't just rely on your front leg. Really stretch it out long. Good, and then resist it to come back in, up nice and tall. Beautiful. All right, let's go to the other side. So change your springs again. Let's go back to your 1.5. Body up nice and tall. So press those feet and then push it out. Stretch it long. Hold. Keep long through the torso and then bend and come back in. So we're flowing through it, but flow doesn't mean fast. Flow means control, just to get there. And then you slowly bring it back in from there. Good. Take that foot off nice and gently. Let's change that. Let's go on to your 2 red springs for the next 2. So lift up tall. Okie doke. From here, activate. Can you actively, whatever's touching, whatever's your feet are touching, can you actively press against that to push out? Hold and stretch. And then slowly come back in. And last time, press. Can you feel the front foot pressing the foot bar, the back foot pressing the back? And then bring it back in from here. Very nice. Good. Let's hopping off there. Good. All right, we're going to grab your long box. So we'll just take your foot bar down because we're going to go into your pulling straps. So we usually do this on 1 spring, which is a bit of a challenge anyway. So if you have 1.25 springs, try that. Or if you have 1 spring and just put it, and then those hooks, put it onto the hook just to increase a little bit of tension. All right, there's 1.5 on here. 1 spring anyway for pulling straps is pretty intense. All right. So either 1.25, so that's my green spring. Okay. Or put it on the hook just to increase that little bit of tension. All right, so let's do your pulling straps, 1 and 2. So come and lie on your tummy. All right, so let's grab your straps. So your chest is just off the edge. Can you activate your legs? Can you press your pubic bone down into the top of the box? Arms nice and straight. Can you push the carriage out a little bit more? Can you hold that tension there for me? Are you broad across your chest? Are your arms nice and strong from your back all the way down to the hands? From here, you're going to exhale and bring those arms up, up, up by your side, reaching long. Can you get your arms a little higher? And then lower yourself back down, just lowering the chest a little bit beyond your neutral. From here, activate the arms. Pull from the back to lift up. Hold. Reach. Can you get a little higher? Do you think you could go a little bit heavier for future? Could you test yourself that little bit more? Hold. And then coming back down from there. So we're just going to do 3. Then you're going to take your arms a little bit lower down onto your straps and take them out to your T. So this is always a bit of a challenge anyway, to hold the arms strong out from the sides. So we're going to pull the arms in, lifting up through the chest to hold and lower down. So you think of your side reach here. We do become into a T position with your side reach. We also did your T arm at the beginning of our warm-up, just seated. Okay, so the T position comes into it a lot to get those arms activating. And then lower down. Beautiful. So 3s in each position is plenty on those challenging springs. So hold your straps into one hand and just hop yourself off for me. We're going to go into your backstroke, all right? So that's 2 springs anyway, and I want you to keep with the 2 springs. All right, so hold your long straps here. All right, so from here, you're going to sit onto the edge of the box. Your hands are reaching to the back of the box. From here, you slowly roll yourself down and your hands come, I just slid them, sorry. Your hands come just above your head. All right, so have you got tension already on your springs? All right, are your arms active? Is your head lifted up? Squeeze through the arms, squeeze through the legs. Arms and legs are going to reach up to the roof. Arms and legs open, just about box width apart. Reach it around and hold. And then we resist it to come back in. Arms would be on fire. Lift, open, reach around and hold. And then resist it to come in. 2 more times. Lift, up. Can you keep the tension through the arms and through the legs as you do your backstroke? And then resist it to come in. Stretch it up, open it out, reach it long, hold, and then come back in from there. Good. From there, place the straps into one hand, gently swivel yourself off. Good. And just hook your straps for me. Very nice. We're going to keep your box how it is. We're going to come and sit on the box for me. So just for your cool down, have your feet grounded onto your platform. Arms are reaching forward. So we can think rollbacks, we can think genie. This is the exercise that we want to focus on. So we're going to breathe in and then exhale as you start to roll yourself back down. You don't need to go all the way. Just keep the arms reaching and then curl yourself back up from here. Just do one more with the arms front, curling down. Can you anchor your feet down? And then curl yourself back up. Let's go across. Now let's go into your genie. The arms are now wrapping across your tummy. Can you get a little bit lower? Hold. And then curl over. Let's stay in your C curve here. And then roll it back. Good. And then roll it up. Can you get longer and longer through your C curve? One more time. Roll. And then curl it back up. But let's sit up nice and tall at the end. Beautiful. Reach your arms out to the side. We're going to do your seated spine twist again. So feel the arm connection. Feel from your back that your arms are starting right down, pretty much where your lats begin. And then like wings, they continue out through the back and out through the fingertips. And we're going to twist to the right, thinking of the right ribs pulling back. 1, 2, and then back to center. And left ribs pull back. 1, 2, and then back to center. Can you pull the right ribs back a little bit further and the left ribs forward more, but without letting the pelvis move? Twist, twist, and center. Can you get taller through the body? And back in. And twist, twist, and center. And twist, twist, and center. Last time. And center. Beautiful. Place your hands behind your head for me. Here's your little short box spine or your tilt. And we're just lifting up and tilting over to the left and then come back up to center from there. So we've worked all those muscles in extension, rotation, lateral flexion. So we're actually working all that here. As we sit, we're staying nice and tall, just with a lateral flexion to the side and up and over. and up. Good. Bring the arms down by your side. Just stay seated and just roll the shoulders around. Roll them around. Beautiful. Good. I hope you all enjoyed that. Give yourselves a big clap because increasing the spring tension is really quite a challenge for the whole body. It really does increase the muscle capacity and the power of our muscles. So I hope you enjoyed that and give yourselves a big clap. Well done, everybody. See you next week. Bye.